The first set of shots is to summon more eggs for the follicles. 1 or 2 days before, you have your activation shot, where I had to take it at 11 p.m. on that Sunday night. I had to take it on time.
So it was the one appointment you weren't late for.
Yeah. Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast. My name is Kash.
I'm Ma.
I'm LC.
And today we are excited to have you here with us. I recently went through a really personal journey, and I want to take the time to share my journey with you all. I recently got my eggs frozen. To be honest with everyone, it was something that I had thought about for a long time. It took 3 years to actually go from an idea into something that actually made happen. So basically,
So I want to ask first, before you kind of start into your journey, what made you decide to have eggs?
Okay, first and foremost, I know I want to have kids. For me, I know for sure that I do want to have kids.
Okay.
I do want to be a mother. So without a doubt, I knew that I either was going to get very lucky and find the right partner to embark on the journey with, or if it's taking me some time and I'm also focused on other things like my education, my career, then I have to consider other options.
Yeah.
So that's what made me choose this. So this is what happened. A year and a half ago, I went in for an ultrasound, and I had my initial visit to the clinic, and it's called HRC Fertility. And they have multiple locations, and I went to the one in Pasadena.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the one in Pasadena, and they did the ultrasound, and they said, "Oh, you look great,
Okay.
You have high counts and everything looks great." But they said you should try to hurry because every half a year that can change.
Yep.
Everyone's different. It's genetics. It's a variety of different things.
Well, they say that when you hit 30, then you lose 50% or something like that of your eggs. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense to not wait to do it if you want to do it. But now that you've made the commitment, why don't you tell us about what you have to do to go through it?
Yeah, what are the steps?
Yeah, what do you have to give up?
What was your journey like? Yeah.
What do you have to give up? What was it like emotionally? I know that there's shots that you have to take or something like that. Yeah.
So when I made the commitment, I called the clinic and I said, "Hey guys, I think I'm ready. Do I have to start over and have my consultation again? Because I don't know how that works. Insurance wise, do you have to have another consultation because everything changes?" I called the office. They said yes, but then they called back and said no. Just come back. So I came back and they did another ultrasound. It was a continuation, but it was a year and a half to almost 2 years after the first one. From the blood test, they knew everything. They knew I was not ovulating. I just had my period, and they asked me, and I gave them an estimation, and they said, "Okay, well, we're going to start your hormones on this day. We're going to start your shots on this day, and then we're going to retrieve potentially on this day." And everything was rolled out. Everything took less than a month. Everything happened in maybe three weeks.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So you go to the consultation, and then in 3 weeks is the first retrieval?
Yeah.
You mean? Okay, wow.
Okay. So then you do the ultrasound.
Yeah.
They put you on a schedule of this is what you need to do. So what did you need to do in the interim? What shots did you have to do? How did you have to eat and things like that?
So basically, after I had my period, they put me on hormones, and I don't know. I missed a day or two, and then I told the lady, because when you're taking birth control pills, birth control pills. So AKA hormones. So when you're taking birth control pills, you're doing it to avoid getting pregnant, right? That's what I thought it was for. I called the office and I said, "Hey, I missed a day or two. Should I double dose? Because that's what I was used to for birth control pills." And I did that one time, and then there was another one, and I said, "You know what? I'm not going to double dose twice." And I asked her, because they didn't give me the information. Yeah. I asked her, I said, "What's the point of this? Is it so I don't get pregnant or what?" Yeah. And she said, "No." She said, "It's because I was frustrated.
Yeah.
Because they didn't explain everything. They were just like, do this and this and this and that. They didn't give me the why.
They never do, right?
They don't.
It's so crazy. You
But-
always have to ask. Yeah.
But the thing is, how I operate, I like to understand the why.
Yeah.
If you give me the
Get it.
why, I'm on board. So she said, no, it's not to prevent. Because I was like, this is stupid. I'm not going to double dose. I'll just not have sex. Or, I just won't get pregnant. I'll just, if that's the goal. And she said, the point of it is to control your hormones so that it doesn't go crazy.
Oh, so there's like no spikes in your
Yeah.
hormones. Okay.
Like, that's the reason why. It's not to prevent pregnancy.
So it was birth control pills that you were taking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the hormones. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know what birth control pills are. I've never taken
Yes.
birth control pills. so
What?
I don't know what birth control pills are.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's
They're hormones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, after that, I started my shots, and they gave me printed instructions, and they also showed me how to give myself these shots.
Is it
And
every
what are-
day?
Yeah, every day.
Every
my
day
God.
for 3 weeks until you
for
get
like
go to retrieval.
Maybe 2 weeks, a week and a half.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
It
you're
depends.
on birth control for a week, and then you have to do
Less
shots.
than a week. And then I did shots.
Then you do shots after
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah. And so the shots, they have to time it out. And the thing is, every time you go in, you continue to do blood test because they'll modify what you have to do next depending on your blood test.
How often are you going in to check your blood?
Maybe a couple times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And thankfully,
I think that's a lot of needles.
it is a lot of needles.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the clinic was right across the street from my workplace.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
That's
Yeah,
convenient.
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
So
So what are these shots for?
the first set of shots is to summon
Mhm.
more
Eggs.
more eggs for the
Okay.
follicles. Your body is naturally going to get rid of these eggs anyways. Your follicles, you'll have a certain amount of follicles on your right and your left side. And you're going to be harvesting these eggs anyways. However, the best eggs are the ones that will move along to be
Fertilized?
selected to
Oh,
be
okay.
fertilized. And if it gets fertilized, right, it moves into the blood lining or whatever, right?
Okay.
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
None of us are.
Yeah. It's just the best that she understands. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's-
please,
yeah.
I'm just sharing my experience.
Okay.
It's to summon as much as possible
Okay.
Okay.
to maximize
Okay.
the amount of eggs that you can have to harvest.
Okay.
Okay.
The second set after the blood test, after when you get closer to your potential retrieval date, is to control anything from spiking, like you said.
Oh.
To first you're like, hey, grow, come over here, and we want to maximize our harvesting. And then when we get close, we say, hey, hold off, stay under control. We don't want you guys to go crazy. You got to stop the momentum at some point.
Okay.
I think 1 or 2 days before you have your activation shot, where I had to take it at 11 p.m. on that Sunday night.
Mhm.
I had to take it on time. They're really precise. It has to be on time. And they put it in disclosure. If you don't take it on time, it could mess everything up.
Oh.
So
Okay.
do not be late. Set your alarm clock. They're really strict.
So it was the one appointment you weren't late for.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten better. but I mean, it helps that it was at night because I'm not a morning person. But yeah, so I took it. And then the next morning I had to go for another appointment. And then it was a day and a half or a day or so. They gave it another activation shot. And then they said it's either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So it's difficult because when you're working, you have to tell your manager, like, hey guys, I have a procedure. I don't know when it's going to be. It might be this day or that day or that day. So
Oh, okay.
for the workplace, if they're not flexible, you might just have to take 3 days off.
Oh,
you know.
that is hard. Yeah.
It is difficult.
So that because the doctors don't know,
They don't know.
it's just
So-
they read your vitals.
They
and
have
when
to
it's
read your
ready,
blood test.
and
They have
then-
to read your vitals.
So
Okay.
then after this last activation shot, you go in for more blood work and then they tell
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Like almost every time I go in, they do blood work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
'Cause-
then based off your blood work, they're like, okay, you need to come
Yes.
on Tuesday.
Yes,
come on Wednesday.
exactly,
Oh, okay.
exactly. On Monday, they confirmed that I was going to have it on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, according to plan. So I did have it, and
Okay.
Okay.
it was
Okay.
it was good. It was,
Can you talk about more like things that you couldn't do when you took the hormones or took the shots? Like, were there any like dietary restrictions, things you couldn't do? I have couldn't exercise. I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah, that's a great question. I couldn't exercise. They wouldn't let me do yoga.
Oh, really?
Wow.
And I
Even
said,
yoga.
I said, this is ridiculous. Yoga, I'm just like sitting there.
Stretching. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just like, you know,
I'm just chilling.
but
Interesting.
but they said no, because you're sometimes you're holding poses.
Yep.
But when I was getting closer to my procedure, we were recording, and me and Ma hung out, and I told her I feel like I'm growing, like my ovaries are getting enlarged.
Oh,
It
yeah.
felt
You can feel it.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
You feel bloated. It feels very uncomfortable. And I was eating organically. Don't drink.
Yep.
Don't.
But can't.
Yeah, she wasn't drinking.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Oh, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
You shouldn't. The doctors will tell you not to.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
It's like
They say
getting
that about
pregnant.
medications.
No, but it's like getting
Yeah.
pregnant. You can't drink.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're
You
pregnant.
just don't want to. You can't. Yeah.
You can like mess up the eggs or like
okay.
lose the eggs.
So no drinking. Try to eat as clean as you can. No exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Were your emotions like up or down?
Well, they said your emotions can be affected, and I'm like, no, not me.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine. Some people say it's almost like you're pregnant because your hormones are just all out of whack.
Oh, okay.
I thought I was fine. I'm like,
Until what?
I don't know what they're talking about, you know,
Okay.
until I was like really short with the nurses and staff. And
Oh, really?
I was just like, you guys are ridiculous. You're not explaining anything to me. I'm not happy. You know, you guys are not calling me. I feel all alone. I feel left in the dark, you know? And then later I'm just like, oh my God, I think it is affecting me.
Yeah.
I
would say so.
I think these hormones are affecting me.
Okay.
But at first I thought I wasn't. I thought they were just like not sufficient.
Okay.
They were just not showing up for me. I just felt alone.
Okay. So you were a little emotional.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was a little bit. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in my own bubble.
I mean, I guess that's not bad. Or do you plan to do it again?
The doctor told me for every, I think, 2, 3 to 12 eggs, you might have one healthy child.
Okay.
So, do you mind sharing how many eggs you got, and are
Yeah.
you happy with the results?
Yeah, I had 17 eggs total.
Okay.
That was collected.
Oh wow.
Did they say that that's a good number?
You know, it's a fair number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a fair number. 17 eggs. 2 of them died, so they were no good. 13 were mature.
Okay.
And mature eggs, that's what you want. Mature eggs means they're in great shape and they're ready for the sperm and they're ready to become an embryo potentially. So that's a mature egg.
Okay.
So I got 13 mature eggs,
Okay.
2 immature. So 17 total, 2 immature,
Yep.
13 mature. Therefore, they froze 15 total. Because even though even though the 2 were immature, they still chose to freeze it.
Oh, okay.
Because you just never know.
Okay. Can they mature later?
I mean, like it's just like it's not as ready.
Oh, okay.
But so maybe potentially
It could still work.
It can mature.
It can still be
in a
fertile.
petri dish or in you.
No,
and
it's not going to
fertile.
mature anymore. But it's just like when it's mature, it's more likely to be successful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just more likely to be successful. They have percentages. I forgot what the percentages are, but I think after you get your mature eggs, I think it's like don't quote me on this. It might be like a 70% cut. They have a higher chance of becoming embryos. But even if it's an embryo, it might not be a healthy embryo. You know, it might be an embryo that is no bueno. Let's not proceed because let's try it with a different egg, right? So I'm explaining this in regular people terms. Yeah. It's like I'm sure some of you viewers might be doctors, and you guys might think, oh my God, they're completely doing a terrible job at explaining this. But keep in mind, take it with a grain of salt. I'm a regular person. I have no medical knowledge whatsoever, and I'm just a person explaining it like a normal person to another normal person. I think there's a 70% chance of the egg being a successful embryo, and even after that, there's a decline. There's always a decline. Every step is another decline. Even when you get a healthy embryo, you want to make sure it's healthy. So when they give you the statistics, like my doctor mentioned, for every like 2, 3 eggs to 12 eggs, you might have one healthy child. They're basing that on worst case scenario. They're doing risk analysis. So therefore, if I want 2 kids, I might want to do another round because I have 13 mature eggs. Statistically, worst case scenario, I might just end up with one healthy
one
child.
out of the 13.
One healthy,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I could get lucky.
Yeah.
And get 3 healthy embryos, and I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yeah. Right.
But to be sure, I might want to do another session.
Okay. Do you plan on doing another session then?
I think I'm going to.
Okay.
I think a lot of people want to know what the cost is. Like, how much did this cost you?
Yeah.
So,
and we're in LA, you know, so it might be different
so
in your areas.
It's different everywhere. And please understand that what I'm quoting, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
It changes. It could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
They told me straight up, we gave you this price, but if you wait 3 months, it could change. Mine is not going to be yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Yours is not going to be mine.
Yep.
I was charged $8,000.
So about $8,000.
350.
Okay. So
something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And that does not include medication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that doesn't include medication.
No,
okay.
that does not include
And
medication.
did insurance cover any of that?
So medication could be another 1,000 plus.
Okay.
Insurance
So like 9,000, maybe 10,000.
Less than under 10,000 maybe. Yeah. My package, they gave me a package because they had different pricings. They have a different pricing for going through insurance and a different pricing that's good if you pay out of pocket without insurance. My package included 1 year of egg freezing.
Okay.
The rental.
Oh, the storage.
The storage.
Yeah.
Correct. The storage. So that's what it was at that time.
So then if you have to do it again, like how long do you have to wait?
I could have done it right away.
Oh,
yeah, I could have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, if you want to do it again, you could do it back to back."
Okay.
I chose not to.
Okay.
Because I want to enjoy my summertime. So I chose not to.
You want to still drink? Just kidding.
Yeah. I want to like just go out there and have a good time and take a break because it's intense. It's intense.
Yeah. Taking shots giving
yourself injections, and we'll put it in clips, and you'll see, but. It's very intense and it is quite emotional. Yeah. It's very taxing on your body.
So would you recommend this to people who do want to have children and want to have an alternative? Yeah.
Yes. So I will say to everybody, if you're even the least bit curious and interested, please do your research because it is a newer technology. However, my doctor and the office, they've been around for like decades, many decades, because the technology has always been something that has been around, but the normalization of doing this is a bit more newer, but it is something that is worth looking into, especially if you have benefits from your company. And I watched a few YouTube channels with some nurses and doctors that tell people give education on the procedures and answers questions. And I've heard one nurse say it's not so much of an insurance policy because a lot of women say, oh, I want to freeze my eggs because it's for insurance. And she made it a point to say it's not an insurance policy. It's more so, you should look at it more so as an investment, because you don't know just because you get your eggs frozen. It's not guaranteed that it's going to turn out great, especially if you go through it. You only have let's pretend 5 mature eggs and you can't get any more. Doesn't mean that it's going to work out. Like it might not work out. So
when you say insurance, do you mean like a backup plan? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah.
And assurance, like it's like assured. It's like confirmed, like just because you exactly.
I can rely on it.
Like your plan B.
Yeah. Your plan B, yeah.
Exactly.
But that nurse made it a point to say, hey guys, don't see it as plan B because it might not even work.
Yeah.
See it as
don't bank on it working.
Yeah. See it as an investment. It could work,
Yeah.
And they're careful to make that differentiation and distinction,
I mean, I think those are all really good information. I mean, I know we're all in the same age range, but Elsie, would you ever consider?
A few years ago, like after splitting up with my ex-fiance, I was thinking about it. I mean, I've never really wanted to have my own children because I feel like there's so many children out there that needs love. And I remember even going to volunteer at the women's shelter and playing with the kids because I wanted to show them a different perspective of a different woman in a different life for the kids. So I love kids, but never really had like a strong desire to have like my own children. And I actually even asked my Mom, should I freeze my eggs? And she's like, what is that? You know?
Yeah.
And I
It's
was
new
explaining to her,
technology,
and I was like, they take the eggs out of me and then they put it in a freezer. And then when I want to have kids, they'll put it back inside me. She was like, oh, she's like, no, forget it. You know, let it be natural. Leave it up to God. We're Christians, and she's pretty, you know, religious in that way. So she's like, leave it up to God. And if it happens that you have your own children, great. And if you don't, then it's also great. So leave it, be natural. Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I actually have the same mentality as your mom. I know there are all these great technology to kind of help aid us into having children should we want to in the future. But I am of the mentality of, if it was meant for me in this world, it will happen for me. And if it wasn't meant for me, then you know, there's other opportunities, so there's other routes that I can take. So I am of that mentality, which is why I didn't choose. This is why I'm not choosing to freeze my eggs. But I also have the mentality of, if I want it, it's gonna happen for me.
You could make it happen.
Yeah. Like not freezing my eggs or anything. Like, you know, we're Asian, our ethnic group. You can just look at us and we'll get pregnant. But
for real, be able to carry like a basketball of kids.
We tend to be fertile into our like later.
I know our ethnic group is very fertile in general. They also talk about, you know, like if you've been taking Ozempic or Wegovy or anything like that, that it makes you even more fertile.
Oh, wow.
Pregnant.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So for those that have done Wegovy or Ozempic, you better be careful.
Okay.
Because it makes you also more fertile as
thing.
well. Yeah, it's actually a thing as well.
But I love that you have that mentality that if it's meant for me, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah.
And I think once my mom said that to me, it relieved so much pressure from my shoulder. Because, you know, I was like, you know, I'm at a certain age. I don't even know if I want it or not. Maybe I should. Maybe society wants me to have children. Maybe, I mean, and my partner at the time really wanted us to have children. My family would like me to have children so that I can be more settled in my life.
Yeah.
You know, all of those things. So like everything just really weighed on me at that point. And so I was really thinking about it. And once my mom said, let it take its course, I just felt so much more relieved.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I have that mentality too. I don't want all this pressure on me to be like, you need to make sure that you preserve this time so that you have kids. Not saying
on
that
me, on my partner.
Like, not saying that people who choose to freeze their eggs, that's not the right route.
Right.
I think you do what it's best for you and what you want to do. I think I'm just of that mentality of if it happens, great. But I also know. I mean, I don't know why I'm so confident about this, but I also know that if I wanted kids, I can have kids, no matter what age I am. You know,
But the thing is, like, the reason why people freeze is because you're right, you can have kids, but then there are increased chances of abnormal birth. Don't quote me on this, but like perhaps if you give birth when you're older, perhaps an increase in potential autism or other defects, right? And so it's kind of a medical reason too. But you know, you both mentioned, and I totally agree, and I don't disagree with you, where it's kind of like, hey, if it was meant to be, it'll happen. So I shouldn't worry so much about it. But then I do want to say, both of you are also okay if you don't have kids also. You both have mentioned you're okay if you don't have any kids. However, I am somebody where I know I want to be a mother in my lifetime for sure. So I'm not okay if I don't have kids. So I think that's what makes me different. And one can also argue, if it was meant to be with God or the universe, it'll happen. But one could also argue, well, does a couple taking IVF indicate that it wasn't supposed to happen, right?
No, I was just going to address that too, because just because my natural path is my path already, my destiny, whatever, with God, the universe, right? Your path in doing the egg freezing, that is what
That's my
God wants you to do.
Right,
The universe wants you to do.
So it's not about
different
technology or
it's not about anything.
Yeah.
It's not and about what's right or what's wrong. It's whatever is right for you is your path.
Yeah.
So no one is right. You know, we all have our own paths, our own journey.
Yeah. And who knows, you know, in the future, if I do decide I want kids, maybe I would eventually have to go down the IVF path. I don't know.
Or I live to regret it because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to regret it, but because if I want kids, I'm going to have kids. But I did have, you know, like I was going to address it. Like, yes, I also am like, don't care if I have kids or not. But I recently, you know, had a health scare, which made me question, like, should I freeze my eggs? Because, you know, I have the resources, I have the coverage, you know, it's like, why would I not do it? But then I thought about it more and I'm like, no, I do want my life to just kind of run its natural course of, you know, this is what's meant for you, whether you have a kid or not in the future.
You know what, guys? Actually, if I were younger, maybe I would do it. You know,
younger as in like what age?
Like maybe late 20s, early 30s. I mean, it's not too late, you know, but in my mind or my heart, I feel like maybe it's too late to go through this journey to egg freeze. What's the point, you know? So I want to allow it to naturally happen at this point in my life. But if it could be a different conversation if I were younger and, you know,
but you
have
don't
a partner.
But you don't think that because of your age that you should do it?
No, because like you said, I don't have that deep desire to have my own children. And also I want it to happen naturally. I don't have this strong feeling that I have to have my own children. I don't know. At this point, I feel like I want to make sure that I'm there for the kids.
I think that at the end of the day, I was really happy with my decision. And to a point that you made earlier, I actually feel more relaxed now.
Okay, that's great.
Good.
Yeah, because I know that I have some eggs frozen. I just feel more at ease.
That's good.
See,
this is your path.
Yeah,
you know?
It's helped me with not feeling pressure because I'll never marry someone just to get married. I'll never have kids with someone just to have kids. I don't want to do something with the wrong person ever. I'd rather not do it. That's why I haven't had kids or gotten married, because I don't want to be a single mom with a divorce, you know, and kids. No shame on people who are, you know.
It happens.
It happens. But to me, I'm just so crazy at controlling that I don't want that to be me, because maybe I don't think I can handle it.
Yeah.
So I've waited and waited and waited. And my point is, I'm not going to settle now just to have something.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not the right person.
I think that's great. You know, you have to kind of follow what's in your heart and what you really want, and make a plan and go out and learn about it and take the steps to do that and have a community around you. So we know Priya, we don't know Nina, but it's really great that you have those good girlfriends that have gone through that process and understands that too. Because we obviously don't understand and we didn't know how to support you. We're just like, oh, okay, that's great. Like, we're happy that you're doing this because we know you want it so much.
Yeah.
And so we're supporting in that kind of way, but we don't really know what to say or what to
you're
ask.
Like,
or what
I got so many eggs. I'm like, okay, great. I don't know what else to say.
Wow, did it hurt? Like, did it hurt? You know, you know.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
we're asking like dumb questions and stuff, but definitely we're happy for you guys, all you girls.
Yeah. You know, to each their own. And this is the path that I wanted, you know. And I'm really so grateful that my company actually helped me a lot with the finances, because it's really helped me manage the emotional part and the hormonal part, you know. Yeah.
Did you ask your parents, by the way, since I talked about my mom? Like,
no,
what is your mom?
They have no idea.
Oh, okay.
They don't know. They don't know anything.
No.
All they know is
They don't have to know.
All they know is, hey, honey, you know, like if you find a guy that you like, let us know. You have to talk to him. That's all my parents.
Oh, but your parents are younger. My parents are older. My parents
are
are more traditional. I think my parents would probably respond the same way your mom would have responded. Like no, you just need to let life take its natural course.
Yeah. And my mom's a nurse too, so my mom would probably be like, okay, I could see that, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, well, if you have any questions, let us know and write us messages, whether, like you inbox us on YouTube or through the website because we do check our messages. I'm more than happy to talk to you and connect with you one-on-one, just to answer any questions that you may have. But just know that someone's experience will never be quite the same as yours.
Yep.
And vice versa, and pricing too. So yeah, reach out. I'm here for you if you have any questions. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please do like, subscribe, and share if you have a friend that might benefit from this video or even benefit from connecting with me. Reach out to them, share this video, subscribe, hit the bell button. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time at our next episode.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
So now moving the ultrasound to your left side to view your right ovary area. So the right ovary here, we probably won't be able to see too much just because, nothing's happening here. It's all suppressed by the birth control pills.
Got it. Okay.
This oval structure here is your right ovary. Okay. So the little dark circles in there are your antral follicles. I'll just do a count today. Yeah, so the sizes here, they're all less than 10 millimeters, which is what we're hoping for today. As we use medication, they will grow. So you have about 13 follicles, both ovaries combined. That's a nice number for the very beginning without any medication.
If everything goes well with your blood work, we're going to have you start your medications on the 23rd.
Okay.
And this is your first time doing anything like this, right?
Correct. First
Okay.
Yeah. So what does the Ganirelix do?
So this one helps you not ovulate too soon. It allows us to kind of control your cycle a little bit better.
Okay. And do the whole shot?
Yes, it's the whole thing. You get one each day.
There's pink and orange. Nervous. This is for my shot this morning. All right, here we go. A little bit nervous. This is cold because it has to be refrigerated. Oh, this hurts. Okay. This is a lot. Okay, so that's done.
So it's going to go click, 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 click. And then it's going to, once it reads 0, then that's how you know you've given yourself the full dose of the 300. So once you're done, wait a couple seconds, 5 seconds, and then release the needle from your body. So what you want to do is you want to take the actual cover off. And you're going to tap this lightly until you see a little bit of medication come through the tip.
Oh, that's a long needle.
Let me make you feel better. Look at this needle.
Oh my
See how long
gosh.
that one is?
Okay. Does that have to go all the way into the
It does
fat?
have to go all the way.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, you'll feel like a tiny, tiny poke, but it's not going to hurt.
Okay. I did give myself my shot to activate whatever it is that I had to activate. At this point, I'm just so desensitized to giving myself shots, you guys. I used to be so scared of needles, but I'm so used to it now. It's crazy.
So first we're looking at the uterus. Everything here looks normal. This is a uterus. I'm going to document the uterus lining here for reference. So this right here is your right ovary. The dark circles we see here are the follicles.
Okay.
So I'll let you know in a minute how many we have that's responding to the medication. Okay. So left side we have about 8. Okay.
8. Okay.
Yeah, so far so good.